So it's Christmas very, very soon. And the message I want to give for this Christmas period is not one of, oh, make sure you focus on Christ, because I feel like everyone says that every single year. But I actually want to dig into the Christmas story. I want to focus a little bit more on the Christmas story and what it actually means and how we as Christians should approach it. And to go into that, I want to focus on the context of what happened with the people who are actually in the nativity, and how can we be like Christ? How can we do the right thing in this Christmas period? And for that, I want to focus on the people in the nativity. Now, the main thing that I want to focus on is the shepherds. And I want to focus on the shepherds and the wise man and why they were willing to go for Christ. See, the thing is that the shepherds were willing to go so far. The shepherds were willing to drop everything for Christ. Okay, right? Hundreds of angels might have started singing in the air, and that might have encouraged something holy within them to think, okay, maybe there's more to life than just looking after sheep. But that the fact that they were willing to drop everything they'd known, the fact that they were willing to drop everything they had ever known, as you were grown up to be a shepherd, you were grown up to be a shepherd. These people, these shepherds on the hills, had grown up being a shepherd, yet they were willing to drop all of their sheep, everything that they had, to go and visit Christ. Should you be willing to do that this Christmas? Should you be willing to drop everything that you've grown up to do to follow Christ? I want to ask you that question. How willing are you to drop everything that you have for Christ? Now, when we look at the wise men in the nativity also, right, these people were so wise, they were smart, they had money, they were rich, they literally gave a baby gold. That's how much money they had. Yet they were willing to drop everything. They were willing to travel so far from the east to visit Christ. Again, they were willing to drop everything for Christ. These people who had grown up with money were willing to go for Christ. They were willing to go and see a baby and visit a baby because they knew that there was something special. And it's the same with you, right? If you know there is something special for Christ, if you know there is something special about Jesus, are you willing to drop it for him? Are you willing to give for Christ? If you know on your heart that there is something more to Jesus, to Christianity, than just a guy in a manger, if you are truly willing and have faith in that, are you willing to drop what you have? Are you willing to give what you have? And the final thing is, right, Christmas isn't just for the people who have enough money to buy you a Christmas present. Christmas isn't just for Christians, and it's not just for people who like celebrating Christmas. It's not just for those people, but Christmas, it's not for a niche specific market, but Christmas is for the world. Notice how shepherds, who were seen as the most poor and the lowly people in society, and the wise men, who were seen as wise, smart, and well off, all of these people were still willing to drop everything they had for Christianity and for Jesus. Because Christmas and Jesus and Christianity as a whole is not just for the poor and lowly or for the rich. It's for everyone. It's for everyone who has a heart to know Christ, to have faith in Christ. It doesn't matter whether you've been baptized. It doesn't matter whether you were Christians as a child or whether you've grown up in a Christian family. But it matters whether you believe that 2,000 years ago, Jesus was born in a manger. And whether it was a miracle that he was not only born, but a miracle that he died and rose again. It's whether you have the faith to believe that he did all of that and he lived all of what he lived for you and because he loved you. That's what gives you faith. That's what makes you a Christian. And that's why you have a heart for Christ. And that's why you're willing to drop everything for Christ, because you believe that Christ first dropped everything for you.